Anytime there is a settlement of a large personal injury claim, it is typically paid as a lump sum amount to the victim. This can cause a problem for the victim long term because that lump sum is made up of the loss of the future income that's projected that the victim will have. It's also made up of the future treatment costs that the victim will need over the next 10, 15, 20 years. Therefore, having a lump sum paid immediately makes it very, very difficult for the victim to budget. Therefore, our law firm recommends that the victim place a large percentage of that lump sum into a structured settlement. The advantage of this is threefold. One, the structured settlement under the Income Tax Act of Canada is tax-free. The monthly payments are tax-free to the victim. Secondly, many of the victims, by the time the personal injury claim is settled, in Alberta are on AISE, the Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. AISE is only paid to people who are under a certain income. Therefore, a large lump sum payment will disqualify them from their AISE. However, if it's put in a structured settlement, the income under the Income Tax Act is not considered income. Those payments are simply not considered income for the purposes of the Income Tax Act. That's why it's tax-free. And therefore, the Alberta government, for the purposes of AISE, will not consider it income because it's technically not income. Therefore, the victim can keep their AISE. Thirdly, and perhaps the best reason for using a structured settlement, is that a study was done several years ago, and it looked at people who received large lump sum awards in personal injury claims. And it found, surprisingly, that within 2 months, 25% of people had spent the entire amount. And it found that within 2 years, 70% of people had spent the entire amount. And within 5 years, it found that 90% had blown the full amount. This is tragic because these seriously injured victims, they need the money for their future income, and they need that money for their future treatment costs. And if 90% blow within 5 years, that is tragic. Therefore, our law firm recommends a structured settlement in the vast majority of cases of large lump sums so that the victim will have that money for their long-term future.